The lust to control other human beings is a story as old as time. There's a very strong drift in the direction of globalization, of the ultimate centralization of control in the hands of unelected officials at supranational organizations. They want all of the resources of the world in their pocket. The bigger picture is that an attempt is underway now to collapse liberal democracy and replace it with global technocracy. This is a coup. They're saying we can control with rules. We don't need currency anymore. It's like an inverted prison. You are supposedly free to roam about, but everything you want to access is behind lock and key. The potential for social control is gigantic and potentially irreversible. They plan to commandeer land, reduce farming, and radically change the food we eat, transform the supply of electricity, and then dictate how we use it, and replace currency with a system of credits. All three strategies are built on the premise of a climate crisis caused by carbon dioxide.
I do not think there's a climate crisis, and I base that on all the evidence and the climate data sets that we build to answer questions just like that. The government is very clear that they want a catastrophic story. There is no single science paper that proves conclusively that humans control all or most of the global climate. Europe's mad dash towards net zero is effectively economic suicide. Politicians are purposely impoverishing ordinary people, purposely deindustrializing Europe. It's just tremendous amounts of damage in the name of saving the planet. It does maybe ask what is it we're actually saving before paving it over. I think what we're dealing with here is actually a global war on agriculture.
When you look at how many farms are selling out, we're walking into food shortages.
If I can switch everybody from real food to farmer food, then 100% of the agriculture industry can go through my publicly traded stocks. I have complete control.
This is the biggest public relations scam in the history of the world. But it's far more than that. It's a blueprint. It is the action plan.
All life on Earth is going to be radically changed.
Everything will be monitored. The environmental consequences of every human action.
The general population cannot fathom the psychopathy of the vision that they're facing. Once the digital ID is in place, it's game over for humanity.
Well, you just saw, I don't even know what documentary it is. Looks like a great documentary. Something to behold. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto the like foreigners, from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. So, yeah, you could clearly see, I mean, I don't know when this came out or if it's out. We are living in it. So it was gotten to the point where it's not even a conspiracy. It's just right into your face. This is why they call method of the you could say method of the madness, but the method of revelation. And I was watching the show. I used to watch it too back in the day. Let me see if I have it here. Continuing. All right. If you hadn't bored, you got time in your hand, watch this movie. The TV show came out 2012. And boy, oh boy, this show, I haven't watched it in a while, but everything, everything that is that's happening or happened, exactly how you want the world to be is right there in the show. All right, deals with time, going back in time and all this other shit, but it's a good, interesting show. And if you watch a show like this again, everything, it has everything. All right, pretty much it has everything from a totalitarian, what do you call it again? Basically a police state, the emotional state, like the movie Equilibrium. People was forbidden to have emotions and all this other shit. It has everything. It was just a modern term. It came out 2012. That's something, a good watch to have. But all we see with this show equilibrium, since I make mention of it. Fahrenheit 51, I believe, with Michael B. Jordan when they couldn't read books. All this, all these different New World Order movies. Couple of episodes of great episode of Twilight Zone. What was it called again? Man, it's the tip of my tongue. Banging Apps. It was I mean, probably hands down the greatest episode ever. Um, Something man. Hold on. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Basically, it was a trial of the New World Order, and the man. Let me see something. I should know it by heart, but a Twilight episode. Something man. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I gotta get it. I gotta. Yep, this one. That's the one. Time at last. No, no, no. The Absolute Man. The Absolute Man. That's the one. Spirit. Spirit. And basically, he was put on trial, basically stating that his job, he was a librarian, and his job was irrelevant for the New World Order. So they were saying basically, you gotta die. He said, no, I don't have to die. God made me. And then the back and forth with him and the guy, the chancellor, was the chancellor like the state proved that there is no God. So even back then, you had the movie 1984. You got another movie, Logan's Run, right? You got there was another one, Logan's Run, and there was another one. But the point is, all these little snippets that we've seen of the New World Order, that movie with Tom Cruise, with the pre-crimes and all this other shit. This is the elite's wet dream. This is what they think about. This is what they get their rocks off. Okay, this is how they want the world to be. The very world that we was born on, was put on earth to live according to what the Lord wanted us to live. This man is saying, nope, you're gonna live the way we want you to live. We're gonna control you, and it's all about the basic stuff. It's always, I'm gonna keep saying it. All right. I hope the message is getting clear. It's always about the basic stuff. And the basic stuff is power over people. They want to control your soul. They want to control your whole essence, your spirit. All right. It's a typical villain story. All right. There's no why are they doing this for? You know, don't lose a blood vessel to try to figure out why the evil man is evil, why the wicked man is wicked. All right. Don't lose yourself and try to figure out if he chips X amount of people, he should be satisfied. No, this is about complete total control over your mind, body, and soul. They have a God complex. They want to control everything and everyone. All right. The sooner brothers and sisters realize that, it becomes a lot easier. Okay. This is the secret. Like, why Esau wants to kill you, we'll tell you straight up. Esau wants to kill you because of the blessing. All right. And his descendants, which are the Edomites, they want to control you. They want to destroy you. They want to wipe you out. They want to take you out of this world. And whoever remains as a pet to them, they want to control whatever goes in your mind. It's all about control. All right. Isaiah 32 and 5. It says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. So the best definition when you go to vile, go to regular English dictionary. It's gonna give you good stuff in the Hebrew, but vile, extremely unpleasant, morally bad, wicked. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right. Esau know he had it but a short time. So in this world, they was called to be liberal. Liberal means to noble. This is why they look at certain particular families and believe that, oh, this person goes way back. All right. They are very noble and so forth, but they're not. They're wicked. Esau is the wicked. As soon as you understand that, as soon as it gets easy. You're not supposed to love those that want to harm you or destroy you. We represent life. They represent death. Two completely different forces. All right. It said for the vile person will speak villainy. Now, when you go to the word villainy, let me see what it says. Senselessness, folly. Hey, that's perfect. All right. The Hebrew word nabala. Nabal in the Hebrew, he was considered to be a fool. It was an actual person that was considered to be a fool. All right. So they speak foolishness to us. It says disgraceful folly of immorality, profane action. Hey, you could be whatever you want. With this man, you could do whatever the hell you want. And as soon as you do those things, he punish you to the extent of his law. This mother effer is completely immoral. All right, profane action, disgrace, contemporarily disgrace. All right, so they are villains. All right, when you look up the word villain, which I had done before, it goes back to the word bower, which means farmer, peasant. That's the original definition, a farmer or peasant. So, and what is another word? Charred, I believe. So there was a flip of words. So then the modern word for villain is a wicked being. So it's just the basic, typical power over the people. All right. In his heart, he will work iniquity, which iniquity is sin multiply, to practice hypocrisy. So with his tongue, with his mouth, with his quote unquote action in front of your face, they care about you, they care about feeding you, they care about taking care of you. But secretly in their meetings, how to destroy you, how to overthrow you. All right. How to make a list of people that they believe that can be molded and transformed into their way of thinking. All right. And still decide who can live or die. This new world order is not guaranteed everybody's going to make it. There's a reason why they have in that stone, which was the Georgia Guy stone, they want to maintain humanity to 500 million. So they want to get rid of a majority of people, despite if they um, decide to volunteer to take uh, the mark of the beast or not. All right. It says it's an utter error against the Lord. So them try to prove everything against the Lord, being a hypocrite, saying the Lord doesn't exist. All right. If he does exist, he's just like them. All this bullshit that's being said. It says and against the Lord to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instrument also of the churl. So the instrument is what? The New World Order, also the ultimate end game, RFID microchip. Now this is why uh, this man wants to bring in the Insurrection Act. So they expect people to walk around with their birth certificate, social security, and state or driver's license at all times. All of this at one time, and, which is impossible. And then what they're doing is people can have these paperworks and they will just easily take it or destroy it. And then when you leave, you asked out. So what'll be the next best bet? A chip. All right. Says the instrument also of the churl are evil. So this device, this whole futuristic world, that's why I wanted, to show that TV show, which was a good TV show continuing. It was to maintain the new world order. That's what the whole show was about. Spoiler, non-spoiler, it doesn't matter. It's about the new world order. All right. It says he deviseth wicked devices. So everything that trailer was given is them planning, plotting. This is not a thing overnight. This didn't happen in the past 20 years. All right. In the past 50 years. This has been a long thought out plan to get to this point. This is why we saw the visual thing. When you watch the movie Logan's Run, let me see if it says anything. When you watch that movie Logan's Run, and you really watch it, and you see what it's all about, you're like, damn, it's the same thing like today. It says in the year 2020, it says 2020, 74 young residents enjoy an idyllic and wow, I don't know how to say that shit either. Idyllic? That's what it says? Okay, idyllic. And let me go into this real quick. Hedonistic lifestyle. Let me see what an hedonistic lifestyle. Okay, well, hedonism. Seemingly a utopia society within a doomed a city where people live in instant pleasure until the age of 30, when they undergo mandatory renewal termination to control population. If you don't believe anything we say, when you watch these films, you're like, oh, what the fuck? And you compare it to what they're doing today, and they got the suicide pods and everything like that. And even in that movie, damn, what's this guy? Charleston Heston. Hold on. Soylent Green. They give people, oh, shit. Okay, they don't like movies, right? Well, there's another movie. The First Purge. The movie The First Purge. Was it the first one? No, the second one. The father, the woman's father, decided he couldn't afford nothing, so he sacrificed himself to the very rich. That's what's happening. So now I'm making mention of this particular movie. So they stop at the age of 30, and then there's no relationship. The relationship is an open relationship. So everybody takes turn with each other. It says creating a dark, pleasure focused dystopia, masking deep control, critique of excessive youth focus, and the loss of wisdom from the aging. A system Panacastate, the Panacastaries, Patagadus, Logan, 5 rebels against after his forced to become a runner seeking truth outside. So go back to this. It says the idyllic hedonistic lifestyle within the protective confines of the dome city, sorry, which is a doomed city. It says the general belief is that when each person turns 30, they are reincarnated for other blissful life sentence. And then they had people that had numbers, and the servants, I think there was like they had a certain color. It was a complete what do you call that word again? Feudalism society. Complete feudalism. It was the very rich and the very poor. This is the elite's wet dream. All right. And it says those who know the much darker truth become runners, and flee to the hidden sanctuary. When the law enforcement officers Logan Malakayok goes undercover to locate the refuge, he winds up standing trying to initiate a revolution with runner Jessica. It's a good movie. It's boring. It has its boring parts, but you get the gist. It's about a dystopia, which in their mind is a utopia. So Esau's whole thing is he have to control. It's all about control. This is the instrument. It's part of the New World Order. It's all about control. Create these 15-minute cities. Give the people places where you can control them. All right. They don't want make it in a way that they do not want to leave that controlled area. The control area is the wasteland. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. They want you to accept them kicking your door, waving the 4-4, that the military is right there with the guns. They want you to accept these things. Okay, take all your rights, all that to be acceptable. And once it's acceptable, guess what? Nobody's gonna fight. It says the instrument also the true are evil, and he devises wicked devices, destroy the poor with lying words. So giving you hope, using the power of the tongue, the Democrats, Republicans, all this other crap, all working for the same thing. Even when the needy speak of right, but the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand, which is the prophets. All right, the liberal thing is the kingdom of heaven is coming. All right, that's the perfect execution to what was being said. Psalm 64. I'm not gonna make this too long. So I reference movies because it's all part of the spell. It's all part of them telling you what they designed things to do. Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. So these think tanks is in depth and deep embedded to the ideas of the New World Order, of the way they want things to be done. They're pushing the society to this breaking point. This is why a lot of people, we have a lot of explaining to do, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and their heart is deep. Okay? That's why they going back to Logan's Run. They the age of 30, that's considered to be old. You get to that age, you're done. Your life is over. Sounds familiar? Right? Sexual liberation. You have no partner, no nothing. No responsibility, no attachment. Oh, they had to take a drug. I forgot the name of the drug. Insomnia or something like that. That it had this, and the drug kept them docile. All right. So you're living in a world of pleasure. That's them searching out iniquity, knowing what triggers the dopamine constantly being searched out. They created a hyper-sexualization society, right? So that way they could do whatever they want, however they want. We living in a Disneyland of pleasure, but that's all part of the plan. Verse 7, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And that's people like the Jordan Maxwell's, um, uh, Alex Freemason Jones. His job is to tell half truths. Not only him, a lot of these other people that's coming out with the woodworks, telling what's really going on. That's them telling on themselves, because that's part of the ritual. They have to expose what they're doing. That's why I mentioned all those movies. Those movies tell it all. When that TV show Continuum, I find it very entertaining. It was kind of spot on to everything we thought it would be for the future. Pretty fucked up, actually. It says, and that's not the first time. There was another guy. Damn, I forgot this guy's name. I did this show. He was another mad, like science fiction. Was it not George Orwell? Is the one that made 1984. There was another guy. Can't remember his name, but he's another one. All right. It says all so they shall make their tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Why? Because the judgment is about to come. All the men that fear, so all men shall fear and declare the work of the Most High, but it shall wisely consider of his doings. And why are they going to fear the Lord? Ultimately, because the Lord's about to destroy this place. All right? With these people involved, because they're in a position of power. Psalms 2 and I started 1. I ain't going to make this too long. Because why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? That vain thing is their new world order. That's the vain thing. All right? Vain meaning nothing. If the Lord wanted everybody to come together, everybody would have came together during the tower. Straight up. Right? Then the Lord will not have a chosen people. All humanity will be as one. And that will be that. End of the story. But the Lord didn't want that. All right? He did not want that. And then he did not want his people to mingle with the other people. And then he's going to come around telling like, oh, the Savior is for everybody. Like, excuse me? The Savior is for who? Why would a Savior come into that particular people? As I digress, the kings of the earth set themselves rulers, take counsels together against the Lord and against his anointed, which are you Hebrew Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. That's them removing themselves from the fact of who we are. Calling us all sorts of names, except for the names that we were supposed to be called. We were supposed to be called the Israelites, all right? The sons of Yahweh. But now we call Negroes, Spics, Native Americans, all sorts of things. And they keep it enforced in their mind, in this system, to keep us remain in a docile state. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Which is what I see. The Lord's not going to talk to these mother effers. He's going to talk to them The only way they understand, by violence. All right? That's how Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to understand, make them understand. Yet I have set my king upon the holy hill of Zion. Who's the Lord's king? Yahushai. Who the world ignorantly call Jesus, right? So the Lord, that right there should show the separation. I will declare the decree that the Lord has said unto me, Thou art my son, as they have begotten thee. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance. I mean, come on. It says, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possessions. And it says, Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron, that shall dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. So this is talking about rulership, straight up. Ruling with an iron fist, sanctioned by the Son of the Lord. So he's going to get slaves and to serve him. How much more his people? So yeah, it's always been about the basic stuff. All right. You watch a good movie, you always see the villain always wants people to worship them because money and power is not enough. It's never enough. And people can sit there, that's evil. Well, look what the Lord is saying about his son. What? Verse 10. It says, let me read it again. Verse 9. No, I'm going to start 8. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possessions. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, that shall dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. So the Lord's talking about crushing his foes, beating them down. All right? That's what the promise that the creator of all things gave to his only begotten. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. You're like, oh, slavery is bad. No. Slavery is a means to an end. That's the ultimate punishment. All right? It's something that's natural. You have servants. What Esau did to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that was just what he did to the Negroes, right? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, that was completely off. That was completely off. All right? That was completely off. And so it's only right that they go into captivity. And this is where it's stemmed from. The Lord made a promise to his only begotten Son, for the world ignorant called Jesus, that the nations shall serve him. And that's what he meant to do. It says, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled. But a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him, which is whom? The elect. The elect is going to put their trust in Yahushua. Because Yahushua is about to get the ultimate blessing. All right? And the new world order is not the world order that they think they're going to get. They go into captivity under the Lord, the same Lord that they shit on, which is a so-called black man. With that being said, shalom to the elect and the nation Israel. Shalom.